Hey guys, so we're going to be talking about the second round of adjustments coming to Zhongli on the 1.3 beta. So the long story short here is that the Jade Shield, which is Zhongli's E ability, his E hold, will actually give enemies nearby a 20% decrease in physical and all elemental resistance. So it's actually going to be a nice DPS increase for you and for anyone that you may be running Zhongli with in co-op. One thing to remember too is that this is going to be on top of the previous adjustments, meaning that he's still going to create the Stone Steely if you don't have one out while you're doing the Hold E ability. He's going to get the 150% physical damage and elemental damage absorption instead of the 250% for Geo. And then on top of that, he's also going to get the HP scaling on his auto attack abilities. So overall, this just means that he's going to be more effective as a support for your team. And then on top of that, he's also going to be able to be used more effectively in co-op. So you're going to be giving your allies more damage by just having him around and his Jade Shield. So what does this all mean? Does this suddenly mean that Zhongli, in the changes that we already have seen alongside these ones, is going to suddenly be the next level of power creep for Genshin Impact? I'm pretty confident in telling you absolutely no. Zhongli is not going to be a crazy level of power creep or anything like that. These changes are made just to bring him in line with other 5-star characters. The thing to remember is that Zhongli wasn't actually good at anything he was doing before. His auto attacks were weaker than 4-star characters, his shields were weaker than 4-star characters, even though he could have more uptime on them. Like, Noelle can't have her shield up 100% of the time, but Zhongli theoretically could. Even in terms of his CC ability, his petrification is not that strong. It's only 25% uptime in general, and then that's also being pretty generous in terms of like having to switch to other characters and also animation time. So like realistically, you're only going to get about 3 seconds of actual damage, maybe 3.5 seconds of actual damage anyway, of that 4 seconds every 12 seconds that you can actually use as ultimate. So for most mobs, you're actually still going to be better off using other characters that are more capable of CC, like if you have Venti or things like that. Even Sucrose, I would say, is going to be better alongside, characters like Diluc or the Animo main character. When you're kind of thinking about these buffs, it's really important to remember that the changes that we talked about specifically last time, most of those just kind of gave him a little bit of help. The biggest buff that we talked about last time was actually for Geo Resonance altogether, not for Zhongli specifically. So while it might help him to have that HP scaling on his auto attacks and, a better shield by 50% towards physical and other elements, it's not going to bring him in line with all the other units in the game that we already have. And it doesn't make him able to fill some niche that he wasn't able to fill before, but he wasn't really filling a niche before. And then on top of that, these changes here will actually make him better in co-op. Right now, he'd still be dealing, subpar damage, maybe on par damage once he gets the HP scaling for his auto attacks and things like that. But what he could contribute to the rest of your team and your co-op teammates was very little. So this will at least give him a lot more value in co-op and then also make his C2 even that much better. But even with all these changes, and on top of that, the Geo Resonance changes, I don't expect him to be some new level of power creep. He's not going to be the strongest character in the game, not by a mile. These changes here aren't going to change anything. You're not suddenly going to change from wanting Diluc to wanting Zhongli. That's not going to happen. The amount of damage and the amount of carry that can actually come from true carries and true support units like Venti and other units is on a whole nother level to what Zhongli is going to be able to provide. So don't stress if you didn't get Zhongli. If you did, enjoy it. He's going to be interesting to use. And, honestly, all these changes are going to make him and Geo much more viable in the future. So, before these changes, one of the worst things about Zhongli was the fact that he really couldn't work in any comp other than Geo. And the Geo Resonance helped that by making him even better for Geo comps, but they didn't actually change the fact that in a non-Geo comp he was going to be pretty rough to use. You wouldn't really use him over like any other actual support character in the game that you can cause proper elemental reactions with. Alright guys, well I think that is going to be it for this video. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there and kind of let you guys know like, hey, don't stress if you didn't get him. He's not going to be a new level of power creep. Don't panic. Everything's going to be fine. The people that got Zhongli are just going to have a little more fun with him than they would have previously. And you won't be as sad to see somebody using Zhongli in your co-op groups, which again is only a good thing. So if you guys want to see some of our testing like you're seeing on the screen right now, feel free to jump over to our Twitch channel. I'll leave the link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for spending that time here today, and I will catch you guys in the next one.